I'm so excited to be showing you guys these amplifiers. Now in today's video, we're going to be going over the 3K, which is a monoblock amplifier, the 200x4, and the 500x4. I'm going to be putting these all in the same video, and what I'm going to do is unbox one, highlight it, show you guys up close, and then we'll go over to the computer. I'll show you guys what it looks like on the website, where you could find it, and how to save a little bit of money. So let's go ahead and get things started with the 3K. Save the 4 channels for last. I'm just going to jump right into this box, make sure you guys know everything that's included, and I'm going to tell you guys a little bit about why I like Ampere Audio. In case you guys didn't know, I have a Suburban with 1215s, which they happen to be Ampere Audio. I just recently upgraded to 3.0 15s, which I am going to also unbox some other products from Ampere Audio, and the 3.0 new and revised subwoofer is one of those products. But back on track, why I choose Ampere, why I have their subwoofers and their amplifiers in my build. Not only do I feel as if the company has great people behind it, but the products outperform what they say. I mean, I don't know if you guys are familiar with cheater amps. I wouldn't quite go there and say that because it's very common nowadays from multiple brands across the board for their amplifiers to produce more power than what they say, especially at a lower ohm load and a higher voltage. But Ampere Audio, they're taking it to the next level. Not only are their monoblock amplifiers stable up to 16.5 volts, they're all 1 ohm stable, and there's some people who drop them even lower than 1 ohm, and the numbers are outstanding. I'm not going to say they're the cheapest brand out there, but I'm confident enough to say that they're budget oriented, or at least they have budget in mind somewhat, because I find all of their products to be fairly priced, and with that price in mind, they perform absolutely amazing. These amplifiers, if you haven't seen them before, have a very special heat sink which helps dissipate heat quickly, so these things can play all day long, and they could even be in confined spaces. Although it's not recommended, but I've seen it. So here's the 3K. It is a lot smaller than I expected, but don't let the size fool you. This thing is a stout little beast. That beautiful heat sink. We've got all of our knob adjustments over here, as well as a protect and clip light. We got single 1-aught power and ground inputs, and we've got 4-gauge speaker outputs. Flip it around, that beautiful plexiglass back. I'll make sure I get a closer shot of that for you guys. But this thing is just beautiful. We have an internal fan, keep things even more cool than that heatsink can. These things, I mean, I've worked with many amplifiers with and without fans, and I will say I'm a firm believer this heatsink helps all of these amplifiers stay a lot cooler, and I'm happy to say that because it's been a while since we've seen a major design change when it comes to amplifier heatsinks. Over the years, people have tried various things, but this is pretty bold, but it looks good and it performs amazing. We've got a cable for our remote knob. We have our status plug here, which in case you guys didn't know, you could plug this into the amplifier and it'll send signal to whatever lights you have hooked up for whenever the amplifier is clipping. Basically all the stuff the bass knob tells you, if you want to wire it up yourself, you could do that. And you could make some pretty fancy things happen. It is quite a lot of work though. Got some set screws so you could replace the Phillips if you want. If not, there's not really anything wrong with that. Just make sure you use the correct size bit. And we have the knob. They also give you a little screwdriver so you could fine tune your voltage on your bass knob, and you could even use it to set your adjustments on your amplifier. It is just a plastic knob, although it feels like pretty sturdy plastic. We've got voltage, temperature, power light, protection light, and a clip light. And something I really want to highlight is a temp light. just amazing. The knob feels pretty good, nice and smooth. I'm going to go ahead and get you guys moved over here, get you some close-ups, and then we'll go over it on the website. A closer look at the Ampere Audio 3K shows just how beautiful it is and how much detail goes into these amplifiers. Starting off the power side of the board, we have single 1-aught inputs for the power and ground, as well as 4-aught outputs for the speaker. Turning it around, you can see all of our knob adjustments, our Tiffany style RCA inputs, and our master slave switch. These amps are strappable. Last but not least, my favorite angle of these amplifiers is the underneath. The clear plexiglass really sets it all for me, and that's why in my build I chose to invert one of my 12Ks, because you could see just how well built these amplifiers are, and it's just beautiful. Moving on to the next thing, here's the status plug and the set screws in case you want to swap to hex head. They do give you instructions for wiring it up to make it a little bit easier. We've got a pretty long knob wire, if I had to guess, somewhere between 16 to 19 feet. And here's our knob. We have 2 spots for mounting, and right there, that little hole, that's where you set your voltage to make sure it matches what's at your battery. Voltage and temperature on an LCD display. With the click of a button, you could swap between those. Power, protect, clip, and temperature LED lights, and a pretty nice little smooth knob. Now that I got you guys a pretty good close-up of this beautiful amplifier, I'm going to take you guys over to the computer real quick, show you guys where to find it and how to save some money. Heading on over to Ampere Audio's website, I'm going to give you guys a quick walk down and show you guys how beautiful this website is, where you could find everything, where to find this 3K that we just looked at. And for the other amplifiers, I'll just throw a quick screenshot up so you guys can read the description and specs, so I'm not taking up too much of your time. But as you can see, you're greeted with an amazing view of some brand new subwoofers they just came out with, looking absolutely beautiful. Up at the top, you can see different sections for products, and if you scroll down, you'll find speakers, accessories, amplifiers, and subwoofers. Nice little backdrop there. Here's some of their brand new subwoofers. Really good images on this website, must I add. A lot of images, and overall just really well built. Gotta love that. Here's the monoblock amplifiers. They also do featured bass heads, which I'm honored to be the current featured bass head. Now those are the old 2.75s right there, you guys. If you get the 2.75s now, they will come with carbon cones, and the old recones will not fit the new subs. I just wanted to make note of that. But you could see, even without the 3.0s, the older subs, these things were absolutely beaten. And if you guys haven't heard the new setup with the 3.0s and the extra 12K, go ahead and check it out on YouTube or go to Facebook. There's a couple demo videos on there. This thing is just a whole different animal now. You can see down here, 4.71 stars. I mean, you gotta love to see that. Verified reviews, real people, great company, great prices. Going back up to amplifiers, this is where you'll be able to find everything in today's video. We can see our monoblocks right at the top. We got the 12, 8, 5, and 3000. Something for every bass head, every stage, every power demand. Going over to this 3K, which we just took a look at, we're coming in at under $700. We have a beautiful product description. Amazing numbers. Rated 3000 watts RMS, 1 ohm, 14.4 volts. Now I must remind you guys, these amplifiers are stable up to 16.5. So I'm sure you could easily squeeze upwards of 5K 1 ohm with a higher voltage. We have some more specs. Amazing protection features to keep your gear safe. Some dimensions to make sure it's going to fit where you want to put it. And if you want to purchase this amplifier, all you gotta do is add it to cart. You want to save a little bit of money, put in discount code SKS. Also, you could save some time, just use the link in the description. It'll automatically apply the discount code. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump back into the unboxing. Check out the 200 by 4 and 500 by 4 amplifiers, and then I'll throw up some screenshots of the specs for you guys. Alright, you guys, jumping right back into the action. We're going to start off small with the 200 by 4, which I want to make some notes of once we jump over onto the computer. I know I said I'm just going to throw up screenshots, but something I wanted to show you guys real quick is these are rated at 4 ohms. So at 2 ohms, they make even more power. That's not factoring in voltage or anything like that, which is something I love that they didn't automatically go with the highest rating. They went with the most common. Always thinking about the people. Something I wanted to make note of, you do get a product manual in all of these boxes. And we're going to look at something a little bit more simple here. You're just going to get the amplifier and the set screws if you want to change the hex head. But my oh my, does this thing look beautiful. Very similar footprint to the 3K size-wise, but an absolutely beautiful amplifier. We do have an active low pass and high pass filter, and you could utilize those, set your crossovers and everything right here. I know a lot of people nowadays with these 4-channel amplifiers are getting DSPs to fine tune their frequencies and whatnot. They're making it a little bit easier now, and I find that important because that's one less piece of gear you have to buy to make your equipment sound good. We have single 4-gauge OFC inputs for the 200 by 4, and it looks like 8-gauge up to on the speaker output. We have power and protect lights, as well as a channel 1-2 and a channel 3-4 clip indicator. Absolutely beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and get this thing set on the stand and get you guys closer, show off how beautiful it is. And an even closer look at the Ampere Audio 200 by 4. An absolutely stunning amplifier, both performance and looks wise. I want to start off on the settings side, where you can see we have multipliers on our crossovers and active low pass and high pass filters to make sure you could set your desired tuning frequencies and make your speakers sound the best they can. If you don't know how to do that, there's plenty of videos online. If you guys would like to see me do that, just let me know down in the comments. But this is something not a lot of 4-channel amplifiers provide nowadays, and I find it amazing that they were thinking about the people with this. You can see Tiffany style RCAs. Switching over here, we have 4-gauge single inputs for the power and ground and 8-gauge speaker outputs. Of course, once again, a beautiful plexiglass backplate to show off those internals. You can notice we don't have a cooling fan on this model, although with how small the board is and the small amount of MOSFETs, it's not very necessary because this heatsink is going to pick up a lot and dissipate a lot. An absolutely amazing amp. I'm so stoked they got 4 channels now. Words can't even describe it. Here you've got some set screws, hex head if you want to swap out. Again, there's nothing really wrong with Phillips, just make sure you use the correct size or they do tend to strip out easy. With that being said, I'm going to throw some images up on the screen for you guys to review the specs of this amplifier. And of course, if you would like to purchase it, don't forget to use code SKS. Last but not least, we have this absolute behemoth take note to what I said earlier. These amps are rated at 4 ohms on the box. They are capable of dropping down to 2 ohms safely, and it said so on the manufacturer's website, and they do even more power. So keep that in mind when you see this thing. It's not just 500 by 4. It could do a little bit more if you drop it down to 2 ohms. Again, same as last. This amp is only rated stable up to 16 volts. That could be subject to change, but as of now, that's what it is. That's probably what it'll stay. Because rather be safe than sorry, right? I see bigger set screws. You know what that means. This thing's got some weight to it. Woo. Oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Absolutely beautiful on the inside, you guys. I can't wait to show this to you. A behemoth. Now this does have a built-in fan, and you can see there's not very much room for more MOSFETs. They stuck a lot in here. Although it's still a nice little compact footprint, it's got some weight to it though. We've got single 1-aught inputs for the power and ground, and again seems to be 8 gauge for the speaker output. Same status lights and same tuning board. I mean, absolutely beautiful. I love that they were thinking about the people. I'm going to go ahead and get this thing up on its pedestal, get you guys closer, and show you just how beautiful the inside of this amp is specifically. And here we are with this absolute behemoth of a mid-range amplifier, the Ampere Audio 500 by 4. I want to start off showing you guys the inside of this thing because it is absolutely amazing. A big beefy 4-channel. It's got some weight to it for sure. Little extra cooling, and it's beautiful on the inside. Over here you can see our 1-aught power and grounds, our 8 gauge speaker outputs, as well as our status lights. And that beautiful, beautiful settings panel. Really fine tune your mid-range and make it sound as best as possible without the use of other external devices. Now that I got to show you guys how beautiful this thing is up close, I'm going to throw some specs up for you guys. And with that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you stuck around this long and are seeing this, I really appreciate it. It really means a lot. Don't forget to drop a like, comment, and if you like the video and want to see more like it, subscribe. I try to post as much as I can, and we've got a bunch more product reviews and testing going on very, very soon, Ampere Audio included. And just, I want to let you guys know it's completely unbiased here on the channel. I'm a very big fan of Ampere Audio, so if I seem a little excited, I just wanted to take note of that. It's completely in my entire truck almost, so I try to keep things completely unbiased, but I really do love these amplifiers, their performance and price point. I find it outstanding, and I hope if you guys decide to purchase any of their products, you feel the same way. I know plenty of people who do, so fear not. Ampere Audio is a great company. I fully support them, and they've never done me wrong. I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and I might get a little bit of something going together for an outro here, but until next time, bass on, friends.